commitments, he could not join us, so I would like to thank him publicly for his video, and I would like to give the floor to Javier Deshayes, a sports manager and responsible for children protection at Fiba. The presentation he will make is entitled How to Use to the Utmost Basket to Counter Violence Against Children, and what are the initiatives launched by Fiba. Mr. Deshayes works at Fiba, has been working at Fiba since 2012. He is supervising the evolution of basketball players in and out of basket grounds and providing them with training opportunities. He is responsible for protection and safeguarding of child athletes. Thank you indeed, sir, for being here with us, and you have the floor. Thank you. Thank you again.
Kalispera, thank you very much for having me here. These are the only words that I know in Greek. First of all, let me excuse my Secretary General, Andreas Zaklis, who was invited to join this meeting, but he had other commitments that he couldn't skip. I'll try to replace him as well as I can. Probably not with my Greek, but I'll try to drive you through all the activities that FIBA is doing to ensure the safeguarding of all basketball players worldwide. I have a presentation. I'll try to share my screen. I'm not sure if I think that you can see it now. So thank you for the introduction. Yes, my name is Javier Deshayes. I've been working at FIBA since 2012. My main work is in players education. It's players development on the court, but also education, so player development off the court. And when we talk about education, safeguarding becomes one of the main topics. Obviously, there are regulations put in place at FIBA to safeguard all our athletes, but also there are some activities put in place to educate them and to teach them on the different topics that today we will discuss. So it's not only about protecting them from FIBA, but also explaining them what is abuse, how to recognize abuse, how to protect themselves from abuse, how to report it. And so this is my main area of expertise at FIBA. FIBA has zero tolerance with abuse. From FIBA, we want all our players to be able to play in a safe court. This is not only limited to the court, but obviously we also try to promote a safeguarding environment at home, at school, and in any other aspect of their lives. Our reach is varies a lot, as you can see in this slide, from grassroots to elite. And for those that are not familiar with all these kind of words, so when I talk about grassroots, we are mainly talking about how to make more people play basketball. Okay, so bringing more children to the basketball court. Not only children, but also adults. But yeah, you get the idea. It is mainly the mass basketball. Okay, so we try to bring as many as possible. While in the other side of this arrow, as you can see, is the elite. So the elite is really all those basketball players coming to our events, playing in FIBA competitions. Not only at FIBA level, but it could be in the Greek league or any other league. And this distinction is very important because obviously the activities that we can do with both groups are different. Sometimes they are related, and this is what I will try to explain today. Just to let you know, my main area of expertise is more related to the elite. So So I really try to improve those basketball players that are already, let's call them professional, but we don't like to talk about amateur and professional. Let's call them elite to make it clear. So my main area is really to help those elite players to continue evolving, to continue towards a higher level. And this is also with education. I'm not that much in the grassroots programs, but I made sure to talk with my colleagues to get their feedback on that side. So I will try to cover everything. So if now we start in the left side of the slide, you can see the grassroots programs. Mainly we do our grassroots program through the International Basketball Foundation. And here I know that this conference is funded by the European Union. So we are talking mostly about European countries, but we from FIBA, we are worldwide. So we try to reach every continent. And it's true that, yes, we can always talk about safeguarding as a world problem. But the differences between Europe and Africa or Asia are very different. So the expertise that the foundation brings to FIBA here is very important for us because they work really worldwide and with experts in each country to provide the best expertise. The foundation in these grassroots programs, as I said, is the mass consumption. So they try to use basketball to bring more people to our courts, but also they try to use basketball as a way of helping communities or minorities. And in the case of this conference, we could think about using basketball to promote safeguarding or to educate younger generations and the future generation on safeguarding issues. Obviously, we bring these children to our courts, and we all know we all work in sports, so we know that the message that we can give through sport is very powerful, and that's what we try to use here. We are not talking about the next elite players. Probably most of them will not become stars. Most of them will be like me, just shooting some hoops and having fun through basketball. So what we try to do with them is, okay, through basketball and with the basketball in your hand, how to educate them and how to also explain them what a safe place is. So when you come to our programs, to our camps, or any kind of activities that the foundation does in these countries, here you are in a safe environment, in a safe court, and this is how it should be in the rest of their lives. So we educate them on that. We tell them, look, these are the different cases of abuse. You already mentioned several ones, bullying, cyberbullying. There are many. I don't want to go into detail about this, but what we try to do is through not only us, because at the end of the day, the message that I give to a young player is probably more important if a proper ambassador or a person, a former basketball player, gives that same message. So to those events, we bring our ambassadors, which are usually former players, to educate them and to tell them what the typical all the forms of abuse are, how to recognize it, because sometimes the problem is that sometimes children don't even realize that they are being abused. So it's important to make sure that they know what abuse is and what the different forms are. Then obviously how to prevent it, how to report it, and for that this is more the legal aspect at FIBA. Obviously we have a reporting system for this kind of issues and a follow-up to make sure that this doesn't happen again and to protect children that suffer this kind of abuse. From the grassroots part, I could also mention other programs. We have another one in Europe, which is called Her World, Her Rules. I don't know if any of you is aware. Again, this program started, the main objective of this program was to bring girls to the court and to popularize basketball among girls. But at the end of the day, we can see that many federations are also using this program to educate their children, which is great and we highly support. So similar to what I just explained with the International Basketball Foundation, these national federations, through and with the help of Fiba, create some camps or some events where we bring young girls and we try to explain them all the topics that I discussed earlier. If we start moving from this arrow continuum that you see, and we start moving towards the right, towards the elite, there is something in between grassroots and elite where we can see coaches and also mentors. I know that we have many coaches here. I was even told that there are many basketball coaches, so I'm very happy to talk here and talk directly with them. We work very closely with the World Association of Basketball Coaches. And this association, what they have put in place, it's some guidelines to teach coaches. And obviously, I don't want to go into the details of playing basketball. But this course, this manual is divided in different levels, okay? So if we look at it, the first levels will relate more to the grassroots, while the top level will relate more to the elite. That's why I like to put it in between, because a coach can be grassroots coach and a coach can be elite coach. And in both cases, this coach will have a lot of responsibility because they will be in contact with our players. And these players are not only the present, but also the future. So it's very important that these coaches know the principles of what they can and what they cannot do, but also the principles of how to create activities that are safe for these players. On the other side, we also have the Fiba Players Mentorship Program, which is a program that we just launched. We launched a few months ago in 2021. We are very proud of this. We launched it with the Fiba Players Commission. It was an initiative coming from them. And as I explained very briefly earlier, it's not about me, Javier Deshayes at Fiba, going to younger generations, talking to them and explaining and giving educational content. It is more about former stars and people that they know, giving that same message. So what we do with this mentorship program is that we teach former players in many different topics. The first idea of these mentors was to really become the advisors of the elite. But while we were developing this program, we realized that there was even more potential there, that we could even use these mentors to go again to these grassroots and talk to players. So the program initially taught them how to talk with players, how to conduct meetings with them, how to become more like a friend, more like a person of confidence that the player can go and talk. We know that many players that suffer from bullying or any kind of abuse, they are usually shy, and sometimes they even think that it's their fault, and they close themselves and they don't talk to anybody, and that's a big problem. So what we try to have with this mentor is to have a person that the younger generation can relate to. This person was on their own shoes a few years ago, so they know perfectly what is going on. So we train that mentor in many different things. It's not only about safeguarding, it's how to find agents, how to find sponsors, how to deal with the media, and many topics. And obviously, one of the main topics that we developed is on safeguarding. Obviously, this person is not an expert on safeguarding. Okay, I'm not saying that that players should go and talk directly to them and think that this person will solve all the problems. But at least it will be a person that already has some knowledge that perhaps other people don't have. And it's a good starting point to start the discussion about the safeguarding issues. Why did I put this mentor as well in half of the slide? Is because they will pivot from grassroots to elite. So if now we move on to the end of this arrow and we go to elite, this is really where I'm more an expert, because this is really my daily work. FIBA has many policies, okay, and one of these is the safeguarding policy. Obviously, there are some rules, some guidelines, some frameworks that we created, both for us to make sure that our events are secure for children, but also to help our national federations. We cannot forget that at the end of the day, FIBA is the governing body based in Switzerland, and that we cannot control everything that goes on in every single country of the world. We would love to, but obviously we have limited resources. And we also need to remember that FIBA is formed by 213 national federations. And these 213 basketball federations are part of us, and we are very proud of that. And one of our main pillars, of our main priorities for this cycle, this Olympic cycle, is to empower national federations. So these policies are there, obviously, to help them, but if they don't use them, we cannot force them to use them. However, what we really try to do is to help them and to go to them and say, look, these are tools that exist for you and that we would love to help you implementing. And this is not FIBA forcing the national federations to implement. This is FIBA trying to help the different stakeholders these kind of tools. Again, here we are talking about the elite. So yes, it is making sure that the elite can grow and can develop their skills in a basketball court in their country, but also when they come to our events to make sure that they are safe. Okay, we have different tools here. First of all, we created the Fiba Players Hub. Few years ago. It was implemented, if I remember well, in 2015. This is an educational platform where we have educational content for all basketball players, not only elite, but obviously the main target is the elite. And one of the chapters, again, is safeguarding. We also promote it, as I discussed earlier, through the mentorship program. And finally, the third main pillar that we have for these elite players is at our basketball events. So at the FIBA youth events, under 19 World Cups, under 17 World Cups, or under 16 European Championship, or under 18 European Championship. During those events, we try to follow a little bit what we learn from others, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who creates the content or who creates the strategy. For example, I'm thinking about the IOC, but I see that there are other. There is UEFA also in this call. So I don't care if it's me who develops the content. I share it. I'm glad to share it with others, and this is same as UEFA and the IOC with us. So we try to follow the similar strategy, and during our events, for example, we'll have the Players Lounge, which is a place where only at the players' hotel, where only players are allowed. There is no coaches, there is no parents allowed, unless there is the coaches' day or the parents' day, which then yes, we allow them. But if not, it's only a place where the players can go and where we give a lot of information, not only on education, as I said earlier, how to find agents, sponsors, or even anti-doping education, but also safeguarding. And this is something that we implemented a few years ago. And we go there, again, with ambassadors, with our mentors, and we go there, and we share information. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is something that we really try to implement. And this is someth talk directly with players, because this is the place where we can really tackle them and interact with them. It is very hard for a professional player to go to the Fiba Players Hub and learn through our website on safeguarding. I think that most of them don't have time, and even if they have time, they don't see it as a priority. So this strategy is working very well. We go there, we talk to them, we teach them, and we give them the tools. So we tell them, because most of the time they don't even know that the Players Hub exists. So that's what we do there. And during our events, there is also a players workshop, which now is mandatory for all our events. Again, the topic changes. I remember a few years ago we had how to use social media, but also safeguarding is one of the topics that we cover here. The elite, as you can see, I didn't put the pictures on the bottom to make it nicer. It was just to show you that we are not working alone in all these three categories. In the elite, we are currently partnering with Terre des Hommes, which is an NGO based in Switzerland, and that is helping us not only in all what I just explained, but also in developing a new framework for 2022. So we are currently working with them to update all our toolkits, all our policies, which may be outdated, since we all know that this is a hot topic nowadays. It has been there forever, but it's true that in the past 3 to 5 years, it's becoming more and more important. So we are revising all our documents, all our strategies, and we will be launching this with Terre des Hommes in the following year. I didn't want to bother you with a lot of slides, lots of text. I only had 15 minutes. Obviously, there are many other things that we can dig even deeper, and I will be very happy to answer to any question you may have now or later on. I don't know, whenever you need.